Hey everyone, I hope you're not awesome. Welcome back to another exciting video. So let me set the context for today's video first. Why just add a boolean flag breaks your backend and what to do instead. So let me show you something that every backend engineer has done at least once. So it's like you are shipping a new feature and you don't want to break your production. So I'll say, okay, let's just add a boolean flag. It's harmless. It works for a week, but there is a catch. Okay, so in this video, I'll show you why your boolean flags dot code bases and how you can replace them with a simple production safe feature level system with the real life example. So in this video, we'll use the checkout service or a checkout example, I would say. So let me quickly share my, so without any further ado, let me quickly share my screen and see you all there. All right, just allow me a moment.
So, no plans for the weekend? Cool. Okay, so I think you can see my screen now. I am audible as well. Video is up, screen is up. I am audible. Cool. So, as I told you, so in this video, let me zoom in a little bit. So, in this video, we'll understand like why your boolean flags fails and how you can just replace them with the simple production safe feature toggle. Okay, so we'll understand with the help of checkout. So what would be the workflow for this? I can just simply draw a few things here. uh, so suppose we have one controller, and so suppose here we have our checkout service, and here we have a new feature, new checkout service. Cool. So as of now, just understand with this basic stuff. Suppose we have this we have one controller, we have a one checkout application where we have one controller endpoint for checking out. Checkout is like a payment checkout. Okay, so there was already a feature like the checkout service, but now you have introduced a new feature which is new checkout service. So how you will like ship this feature? So very first, what you will do, you will simply in your code base, I am getting notification, what the fuck. Okay, so you will simply check okay, if is new checkout enabled, you will simply check this flag here, and you will simply put your code inside this. Yeah, which is perfect, or it's a obvious thing. Cool. So we'll simply add one boolean flag, but just think, is this enough? Okay, so what if I want you to like, I just want to roll out or introduce this feature for some specific users? What you will do, will say I'll add some more conditions here. Then I'll say okay, what if I just want to roll out for another set of users? I'll add another set of users, which means there will be a code change. What if I just wanna like kill this feature, new feature? Then we have to code change, we have to like or either from the config we have to like redeploy, And suppose your production is on fire and everyone was making the payment, but payments are failing and there is a noise like, what did you do? Now we are failing with our payments. Now how will continue with the flow? So this is a big concern. So here your toggle features comes into the picture. So we see this is the decision making, that we are just relying on our code. Our decision making shouldn't be on our code, it should be elsewhere. Cool. What does that mean? So just bear with me. So we definitely won't go with this. So what we will do here we'll create one more service and we will call that as noise area. Just hold on, let him finish. Okay, I guess अब noise नहीं आ रही. So what we will do, we will build one feature. I can give the name as toggle as well. We'll build one service, feature toggle service, and what it will do, it will handle this stuff for us. And how we'll control, like whether we wanna roll out for specific users, like initially for or the 30% of the users of our total traffic, and if you wanna just kill the entire feature at a once, you just wanna like toggle off the entire feature. So we do not have to change anything inside code. Our code will be the same and one time deployment. So how we'll do that? So for that, let me quickly show you. I already have configured one basic. I can simply close these all. Cool. So what we have here, so this is a basic .NET application, web API, where I have one model and this is our feature toggle. And now here we have ID name is enabled, rollout percentage, targeted users, is kill switch enabled, or last updated UTC. And what we are doing here, so let me explain you each field here. ID is to identify, name is the name of the feature, is enabled means whether this feature is enabled or not, rollout percentage is like for how many users initially you want to roll out this feature, targeted users means these are the set of users for whom you have to push or you have to just initiate this feature, is kill switched enable. If this is enable, then your is enabled, rollout percentage, target users, these all will be like they won't be, so these features won't be considered because your kill switch enable has the highest priority. We'll get along with this, and this is the simple, I think it's a self-explanatory, your last updated UTC. Cool. So for the same, if you observe here, we have simple just blank controller checkout, and here I have one appdb context for the feature toggles, and same I have just registered inside my program.cs. So I think we do not need to worry about this. And also let me show you, I have this schema and it's inside our DB. I'm using NeonDB and I have integrated with the PostgreSQL. So as you can see here, we have the ID, we have name. I can use as this, but it's cool. So we have name, it's our new feature, new checkout, is enabled true, rollout percentage is 30, targeted users, I just specified few IDs here, is kill switch enabled false, last updated, that's cool. So what we want currently, we have your controller, although we haven't like write anything inside controller, but first we need our checkout service and the new checkout service, which is our new feature, and the feature toggle service. Okay, so let's build the, okay, so let's write the code side by side for these services and we'll understand how we'll ship this feature and how your feature toggle works in the production systems. Cool. So let me share my rider screen. All right. Cool. So we'll start with very first we need services. So we'll add one directory here and we'll call that services. We need one checkout service and one more thing like noise. Hold on. Cool. So one thing. Cool. So one thing I would like to highlight here. Probably for most of the like your checkout services or toggle services, I'm not writing. Hi, sorry for the inconvenience. Hi. बाहर थोड़ी नॉइज़ थी सो आई जस्ट लगता होगा ना कि भाई कितना बिजी बंदा है भाई. ओके लेट इट बी. सो थोड़ा नॉइज़ था बाहर तो इसीलिए मैंने पॉज कर दिया था. सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग, I might not write the interface for the services, but you know what is the good practice to write the code. So if you want you can write the interfaces, but the primary focus for as of now is on the feature toggle system, not on the your interfaces and the service implementation. Cool. But I believe you all know what is the best practice to write these services. Cool. So very first we need one this. आज ये नॉइज़ होती ही रहेगी मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है. पब्लिक स्ट्रिंग and we can simply give it a name as process. And what we need inside this, we need one user id as well inside this, and user id is for I'm not writing the your interface for this, but you can if you want. I'm not writing checkout service called for user id. This sounds good. So what I was trying to say here, so this is our feature toggle. So what I was highlighting here, so for the controller we'll get the user id. So but I cannot simply like draw the arrow here because we are not sure whether we'll just use our checkout service inside controller directly, because now we are shipping the new feature, or there would be some middleware for that. So but for sure we need user id because we have to validate, because we have to validate whether is this the targeted user or not. So for that we need the user id. And all right, cool. So for sure we need user id, and similarly I can just take this and I can create here a new checkout service, and inside here I can create and I can highlight here new checkout service called for specific user id. Yeah, it's recording. I forgot whether I just turn on the start recording or not. All right, cool. So we have checkout, we have new checkout service. uh, why is this here? And next we need our feature toggle service, and this one is the good one. Okay, we can simply give the name as feature toggle. Okay, so let me create this as an interface. I feature toggle एक के लिए बना देते हैं, ठीक है. So what we'll do, it will return one is feature enabled. It will take first we would like to call as feature name, and second we can say user ID. And this is the primitive obsession or the code smell. String changing the order, what will happen if you don't know. I have a video on this right now, it's popping on the screen, just go and check it out. If you don't know about this, you are really missing something. Yes, does your code really smell? It's smelling right now, I can say that. Cool. So next we need one feature toggle. All right, so I feature toggle will implement here the missing members. Cool. All right, so now we need few things here. So if you see here, we have feature toggle. Now we are building, but the feature which is created and will control from where, that we have like all the information inside our db. So we need one db as well here, and I'll call this as a database layer, and our feature service will interact with this, and it will fetch the feature details. Cool. We have one model, so we can make just take this here. Currently we are working on this part, this one. All right, so now we have where we need the database connectivity here. So what I will do, I'll simply go here. We have app db context, I can call it as a db context. Now we need here a couple of things. The very first, we need our toggle feature. So what I will do, I'll simply call it as a toggle db context dot feature toggles dot as not tracking dot first or default, let me call this as an async, and here I would call f dot name, which is equivalent to my not user feature name. All right, and if I'm just making this, I have to await this. If I have to await this, I have to make this method as a sync. Cool. Now we have our toggle here. So the very first check, we have to check whether the feature exists or not. Like we can simply handle the null check. If toggle is null, so we can simply return false. Cool. The next, now I was talking with you about the priority. Okay, so we were talking about the priority. So here, as you see, we have is enabled flag, which is true, which means a feature is enabled, and now people can use this, or these are the set of users, and it's a rollout for 30% only. Is kill switch enabled? False, which means now if we talk about among these, the very first check would be go on is enabled, rollout, target user, or kill switch. I would say just pause the video and think about this and drop your comments, like what would be the order to handle the cases for this. So I hope you have figured out what would be the order in order for handling these cases. So let's start. So the very first we'll check if it's not null, then is kill switch enabled. If this is enabled, simply return false, because that was the case when we were talking about the production is on fire and is kill switch enable. We have to just drop anything, drop, we have to just stop everything, or the every request going to the new feature, they will redirect to the old feature only. Makes sense. Now once is kill switch is enabled or it's false, then it will come to the next case. Next we can check here your toggle dot is enabled. If your is enabled is false, which means we cannot do anything, it's false, then simply return false. Now we have handled three cases here, which is your toggle null, is kill switch, is enabled, which means is enabled done, is kill switch done. Now we have left with the rollout percentage and targeted users. So just think, which will come first, your rollout or the targeted users? Cool. I hope you have figured it out. So let's call it here is user targeted, and here we'll pass our toggle and the user ID. If that is the scenario, we'll simply return true. Now we have to create this method, so I'll simply go here. This will return boolean, and this is taking feature toggle user ID. All right, so what we'll do here, we'll very first we'll check whether our toggle is null, although that's we already checked over there. But here we'll check for if target toggle dot targeted users, if this is null. If, then simply return false. We won't do anything, we won't go anywhere further. If it's not null, then we need users. And now we have to here deserialize the where's my JSON serializer, dot deserialize. And what we will do here, we need one hash set of string, and what we will do here, no user ID, it would be your toggle dot targeted users. So here we are extracting our targeted users from our database. Now what we can do, we can simply check here, simply return if your contains user ID, and our users we can just handle like this. And all right, so which means if it contains the specific user, if this is allowed, then return true. And what it is saying, typo, really, and remember does not access instance data, can be marked as static. Okay, all right, so this one is done. Now we have left with our rollout percentage. So what we can do, we can simply create is in rollout, and same will pass this. If it is in rollout, then what I will do, if it comes under the rollout, then it's true. And yeah, we need user ID here as well. I'll show you why we need user ID for this. Let me create this would also be your boolean. All right, let me mark this as static. So here what we will do, we have to roll out. So very first check would be similar to our toggle dot is rollout. How? Yeah, rollout percentage if this is less than equal to 0, which means if our rollout percentage is less than equal to 0, which means we are not rolling out, just return false. But if this is greater than or equal to 0, then I guess we can return simply true. But what if this is between your 0 to 100? Then we have to like check and we have to calculate the deterministic probability of your users. So what we will do for that, I can simply create one bucket here, and I can create one bucket, and here what I will do, I will simply pass my user ID. And what this is for, let me create one get bucket here, and this will return my int string user ID. So I'll simply, what I'll do here, I'll generate the hash here simply. We can simply use where sha is equal to sh 256 dot create, and we will use our hash, which would be our sh dot so we can simply use compute hash. We can say our encoding dot get bytes from the user ID, and this is coming as string. It takes your string. Cool. Sorry. And what we'll do, we'll simply return our and perfect. So we have computed the hash here. So what we will do, if our bucket is less than toggle dot rollout percentage, which means we have to return true. So what we checked here, if our bucket size, the user we have currently in the system, is less than the rollout percentage, or then we have to just ship new feature, else we won't. Make sense? We are getting error somewhere here. What it is saying? No, error is not here. Yeah, error is here actually. So what we have done here is in rollout we have checked. If it's in rollout, we will simply return this. We have error inside this code, and what it is saying, it is asking for simply return false. And now this is saying just simply replace with the return statement. And although we can just use simple or here, sorry. So this is fine. Now there is no error here, which means we are done with the feature toggle service. All right. So next, so now where are we? If we just talk about this architecture, we have our features like new feature and our feature toggle system as well. It's interacting with the database. And now how we will check, like whether we use will just inject our feature toggle in checkout services inside controller, or should we create one middleware, like one middle class or the manager to manage all the stuff. In that case, our controller will be clean. So what I will do, I'll just move these items here, and your feature toggle will be oh and your feature toggle will be here, and we will simply create one checkout manager, and we'll inject this checkout manager into this, and your feature toggle will go inside this, and your this will go inside means we'll inject these services into this. Cool. कैसा सा डायग्राम बन गया ना, गंदा लग रहा है पता है मुझे. ठीक है, तो कंट्रोलर हमारा फीचर चेकआउट मैनेजर कंट्रोलर से बात करेगा. अभी हमने फीचर टॉगल को बस यहाँ पे कनेक्ट किया है. आप फीचर टॉगल सीधा इंटरेक्ट करेगा चेकआउट मैनेजर से, और बेस्ड ऑन दी फीचर will check like the checkout service is working, or like whether we have to call the checkout or the new checkout. All right, so let me go to, oh, we have to create one manager first. So we will go here, manager, and we can simply say checkout manager, and here we will inject our I feature. We'll inject here I feature toggle, and it's my toggle. Also, what I can do, I can take this here, and we need our, what was the name of the services? It was your checkout service, and we can call it as a v1. We can call it as new checkout service. We'll call it as v2. It's saying import. Cool, we have import the references. Now here we have to one method we have to generate will simply return string, and it will process checkout, and this will take our user ID because it will be called by your controller. So what we will do, simply we will go here and we'll go to toggle dot, अगर वो आपका फीचर enabled है with the user ID. Wow. It's taking the feature name as well. So what I will do, I will simply private const string, I will call here feature name new checkout. I will call this as what's in my DB. It's in all caps. It's a new checkout. Whoopsie. All right, cool. So here we have to pass the feature name and user ID. If your feature toggle is enabled, then not return. Why I'm getting error here? Oh, so which means we have to await this, and we have to make this, and then we can simply return your v1 dot process Our process is only taking the user ID, I guess. Else we can simply v2 dot process and the user ID. I think we are good with this. Alright, so what we have done, we are saying if our feature is enabled, then no. Yeah, this is the right. If feature is enabled, then for new checkout service, new feature will be live, or else your request will come back to the old feature. कितनी लंबी बनी है ये वीडियो, ज़्यादा बड़ी तो नहीं हो रही. Oh, it's gonna be a long video. Ooh. Alright, I think we are good with this. Now the only stuff is left. We have to just what mapping we have done here. Our feature toggle is interacting with this. These two are here. Now this connection is left. Checkout manager. So we'll simply go to the controller and we'll simply inject our checkout manager, and we will simply create one post endpoint and public sync task action result checkout, and here we'll take one user ID. And what we will do, we will simply save where result is our manager dot process checkout user ID return okay dot result, and we have to await this, and there is a typo result. All right, I think we are done here. एक बहुत important चीज़ बची है अभी. Now there is a one important connection left. We have to add all the services in our DI, like IOC container. So for that, what we will do, will builder dot services dot add scoped, and very first we need our checkout manager, and then we need three more, and like we need our I feature toggle. For feature toggle we need our checkout service, and one we need our new checkout service. Cool, so it's good. Are we done with our, yeah, as per this architecture, Ganda architecture, not in Ganda as a drawing. Okay, so as per this architecture we have written the entire code. So now it's time to validate this. So how will validate this? Alright, so what I'll do, I'll simply go here, I'll create one file api.http, and here I'll make simply post request http colon forward slash localhost on which port my application is running. It's 5006. Alright, local host 506 slash what's the path, it's checkout, it's checkout, and our user id, क्या यूज़र आईडी पास करें, 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so let me run this. Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed. It's building. Oh, finally चल रहा है. अभी चला नहीं है. अभी चल रहा है. ये टी कंटेनर की जो डिपेंडेंसीज हैं उनको रिजॉल्व कर रहा है अभी, आई गेस. बट इट्स टेकिंग टू लॉन्ग टू रन दिस. वाई? ये चेयर टूटने वाली है, मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है. बहुत चैंपे कर रही है. हो, व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विद दिस मैन? Why it's not running? Let me first clean the solution. Build complete, and now let me run this. Cool, it's now listening. All right, so अभी क्या एक्सपेक्टेड बिहेवियर होना चाहिए, एक बार डीबी में चेक करते हैं. हमने यूज़र तो देखो हमारा टारगेटेड है नहीं, उससे पहले अनेबल्ड चलना चाहिए, और किल स्विच भी फॉल्स है, मतलब कि, और अभी तो इतना डेटा है नहीं हमारे पास. बट अगेन दैट वुड बी डिफाइंड बाय योर हैश, what is the value, and hash value we are generating based on the user id. So अभी तो आई गेस ओल्ड वाली चलनी चाहिए. आई एम नॉट श्योर कि वो क्या हैश जनरेट कर रहा है उसके लिए. सो लेट्स रन दिस. चेकआउट सर्विस कॉल्ड फॉर यूज़र आई डी 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5 आई गेस ये हैश कुछ ज़्यादा ही जनरेट कर रहा है. ऑल राइट, एक बार 1 के लिए चेक करें, क्योंकि 1 के लिए तो बहुत कम हैश जनरेट होगा आई गेस. और 1 के लिए ये न्यू चेकआउट सर्विस चल गई. अब 1 के लिए क्यों चली? क्योंकि हमने अनेबल कर रखी है. ठीक है. 30% वाले में आ रहा है, टारगेटेड यूज़र्स में नहीं आ रहा. कहाँ है मेरा फीचर? सॉरी. सो सबसे पहले उसने टॉगल नल नहीं था. इसको डीबग मोड में डीबग करके दिखाते हैं ना, और अच्छे से पता चलेगा कि क्या हो रहा है एक्चुअली में. ऑल राइट, इट्स बिल्डिंग. यप. सो लेट मी पुट द debugger here, and where is my API? Let me hit this. Cool. So user ID is 1 and feature name is new checkout. All right, so if this is not null, and it's yeah, it will become, oh, that will fail, no worries. So let's go. It's making the db call, although you can create the repositories and just get the data from there. Again, this is not the best practices video that I already have on my channel, but this is like the primary focus is on your feature toggle. All right, so ये feature toggle हो गया है. अभी toggle null तो नहीं है I guess. Yeah, it's not null. We'll go next. Is kill switched enabled? No, that was false. It's टॉगल डॉट इज enabled. क्या वो फॉल्स है? नहीं, वो हमारा ट्रू है. नाउ इट विल गो फर्स्ट ऑन टू द यूज़र टारगेटेड. सो लेट्स गो ऑन टू यूज़र टारगेटेड. ऑल राइट, सो नाउ वी पास्ड फीचर, our toggle and the user ID. If no, it's not null, it will get the users and count we got 2, and here we got the users, it will check if it contains true, else false. So which means our first method returned what? False. So it will go and check for the second method is in rollout. अगर यहाँ पे एंड होता तो वहीं से रिटर्न कर जाता, बट हमें और चाहिए यहाँ पे बिकॉज जो मेरे को सेकंड केस भी चेक करना है. इज़ इन रोल आउट and then we'll check our rollout percentage is not less than 0. Let me check the value of it's 30, not greater than 100. Now for the one user id, let's check what is the hash we are getting here. It's a 7, and obviously our bucket is 7, which is less than your rollout percentage, which means it's true. And now if it's a true, it will simply return true here. And now if this is true, yeah, this is true, and then it will simply use the feature 2. Alright, makes sense. Now let me show you. Now देखो अब क्या होता है, अब हम कहते हैं कि प्रोडक्शन इज ऑन फायर, इफ समथिंग इज ब्रेकिंग देन वी हैव टू डेफिनेटली roll back everything, but we do not need to touch our code base. I'll show you. Cool, it's working. So how we'll check, we'll simply flip this to true, we'll make save changes, everything is same, it's like new checkout, enabled is also true. But now let's see the magic. We'll go here, although this like our bucket size rollout percentage check is also passed. Let's see, checkout service called for user 1 and this is the old one, just because of हमने यहाँ पे हमारा जो किल स्विच था, इसकी यहाँ लिख देता हूँ मैं. इसको मैं चेक करूँगा. हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी, और ये मेरा है ग्लोबल चेक. ठीक है, तो अब ये मेरा हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी पे चल रहा था, उसके बाद आएगा ग्लोबल चेक. भाई अगर प्रोडक्शन फट रहा है तो कोड बेस नहीं चेंज करना है, तुम्हें बस जाना है. अब देखो क्या होता है, अब जो बिजनेस है उनको आपके टेक से कुछ नहीं पता. अगर कुछ रोल आउट जाएगा, कोई फीचर जा रहा है, कुछ भी नया फीचर शिप हो रहा है, अब आपको क्या करना होता है, फटाफट आपको बस फटाफट वो फीचर शिप नहीं करना है, आपको उसको सेफली स्टॉप भी करना है अगर कुछ फट रहा है तो, और बिना किसी इंटरप्शन के. ठीक है, अब हम कोई भी कोड को रीडिप्लॉय नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम जस्ट अपने डीबी पे उसको मैनेज कर रहे हैं. अब बिज़नेस टीम्स होती हैं उनके लिए क्या होता है, एक नया डैशबोर्ड बन जाता है. वो क्या करते हैं, उनके वहाँ पे ऑप्शन आता है, आपको ये वाला फीचर अगर रोल आउट करना है फॉर दिस सेट ऑफ यूज़र्स एंड दिस इज़ द रोल आउट परसेंटेज एंड दिस इज़ द हार्ड किल स्विच enabled that we have, and just sit and hit the post. It will just update these details, and whenever like the users who are making the payments, they will check the configuration with this database, and everything flows like this and nothing will be changed inside your code. तो जो हम वीकली रिलीज़ करते हैं और कई बार हम बोलते हैं ना कि ओके तो फीचर टॉगल ऑन करके भेजना है या ऑफ करके, सो दिस इज़ योर फीचर टॉगल. तो अगर आपको अब नए यूज़र्स के लिए उसको करना है, just add the set of users here. If you have to increase the rollout percentage, just change here. You do not need to redeploy your code. अगर आप ये चीज़ कॉन्फ़िग में रखते तो आपको कॉन्फ़िग तो फिर से चेंज करके रीडिप्लॉय करनी पड़ती ना, बट नाउ यू डू नॉट हैव टू redeploy anything. It's a safe. Cool. So this is about your feature toggle. क्या कहते हो, अच्छा था. So that was about your feature toggle. If you are already using booleans in production, then you are not wrong, but now you know what comes next. Thanks for watching and ship safely.